Good morning.
Hey, what's up guys, it's YellowMotion here and welcome to a brand new Let's Talk video of Tekken 7 Faded Retribution. It's been a very while since I made a new one, and with this one I'd like to kick it off with the character predictions for Tekken 7. Since the last character reveal of Nina Williams, we haven't had any new character reveal yet in these couple of months, so that gives me a good reason to discuss and speculate which characters can or should be in Tekken 7 Faded Retribution. Who's going to be announced? Who's going to make the final cut to either the arcade version or the console version, and basically give my thoughts and reasons for the potential upcoming characters of Tekken 7. So, just as Hayashi says, let's do this. Alright guys, so this is going to be obviously more than one video because of the amount of content that I have to talk about, you know, otherwise you would get a video that lasted more than 3 hours. There are several criteria for deciding and judging who's going to make the final cut in the roster of Tekken 7, you know? Because I just can't simply say like this character going to be in the game without giving a good reason, right? So these criteria are based on the Tekken franchise as a whole, but mostly how that will apply to Tekken 7. So with these factors and criteria, I will be able to judge and portray to you guys who I think has a chance or is crucial to be in Tekken 7, alright? So the first criteria that I'm going to take into account is the story and the theme of Tekken 7. So let's start with the main story, because the main story of Tekken 7 is, as we all know, it's the conclusion of the Mishima saga. And it's also safe to assume that the theme of Tekken 7 is Faded Retribution. Now, Tekken 7 is all about closure, you know, all about a full circle, everything coming to an end. So almost every character over the entire series that has a main connection to it will be important to Tekken 7. But as I said, it's the conclusion of the Mishima saga, and you can imagine that every Mishima and every character related to the Mishima that has a significant importance is, in my opinion, important to be in this game, you know, for story's sake as for the character's sake. It's been more than 8 years since Tekken 6. It can take another decade or more, I don't know, since we will eventually see a Tekken 8. I didn't believe that we will eventually see a Tekken 7. Right now I can't believe we will see a Tekken 8. So the approach for Tekken 7's story is that everything kind of comes to an end. It must come to an end, meaning that several story plots and mysteries will be also revealed. So Harada and the team are tying up a lot of character story threads to bring some kind of closure to them, you know. That's what I feel and sense is the whole story theme of Tekken 7, you know, it's an end, it's a conclusion, it's like a full circle. Everything that has a beginning has an end, alright? So that's criteria number 1. So criteria number 2 is what I call the franchise relevance. So how many times has that character appeared in the canon Tekken series, you know? Because the more the character obviously is in the Tekken franchise, in the Tekken canon series, the more important it is for the story. Maybe it can be a side story, a subplot, but it's still important in the Tekken canon games came along, you know? That's also one thing to consider. The third criteria is the character's popularity and also the character's usage. So how popular are the characters, you know, among the players, among the users? A character can be very popular to someone, but that doesn't need to mean that the character is played a lot, you know what I mean? There are several characters in the Tekken franchise that are so popular that their story is either, you know, relevant or irrelevant to the canon series. For example, a Tekken game without Paul Phoenix and martial law is almost unimaginable, right? So over the years they have become like the comic relief of the series, but his story also kind of progresses along. fourth one is originality, the uniqueness of the characters. So what is the fight style of the character? The design, you know? Originality is also a very valuable one, like the origin, the looks, but also most definitely the fight style. And Tekken 7 has made it very clear to by far including, you know, only one fight style per character that differs from the rest, you know what I mean? Last but not least, which I think is the most important one of all, you know, because this is like the holy grail, the holy rule, these are the facts. So whatever I'll be talking and speculating in this or in the following videos or even in the past, there are several facts and answers given by Harada or Michael Murray or the Tekken team that will lay down their vision to what they're aiming for Tekken 7 to be. So these are important to whether a character will or won't be in the game. So for example, it has been said that if a character has several moves that resemble another character, that doesn't mean that that character has replaced that specific character, you know what I mean? We've all seen Josie and we were like Bruce is gone. We've all seen Gigas and we're like Marduk is gone. We've all seen Lucky Chloe, alright, the Capos are gone. This doesn't necessarily mean it's always true, you know? You need to take that into account. And also for Tekken 7, you need to understand that character roster is going to be obviously less than Tekken Tag 2. And for Tekken 7, they are creating every character again from scratch. They have stated that they redesigned and remade every character again for Tekken 7 with Unreal Engine 4. So that is also a very important criteria and a very important thing to remember, like, okay, which characters are we going to remodel again for Tekken 7? Right guys, so now you can imagine that I'm going to take account all of these criteria that I have just mentioned, you know, for a specific character. And for this very first prediction, I would like to start with a very particular character, and that character is the one and only Lee Chaolan.
Oh, excellent!
Now you might think like, okay, is there something to talk about Lee Chaolan? Well, yeah, there is. For some it's like a no-brainer that he will be in Tekken 7, while others are still like, okay, will he be in the game? Where are all the old characters? So as we all know, Lee is Heihashi's adopted son and Kazuya's rival, right? So from childhood he was included in the same training, you know, to become the head of the Mishima, just like Kazuya. And because of his adoptive father, which is Heihachi, Lee hates him and he constantly plots to kill or either humiliate him. And we can see that in the several endings of Lee Chaolan, like how he just enjoys the living shit to, you know, annoy Heihachi or just basically the Mishimas. And also with Kazuya, both of them are aware that they are, you know, they are their rivals for years, because that also pisses Kazuya off, but that also pisses Lee off. So you can imagine that story-wise, Lee Chaolan is also kind of important to the Mishimas, like a subplot, a sub-story. So he's always been an important figure behind the scenes, you know, and now mostly with his Violet Systems company enjoying in the Bahamas. But you have to understand one thing, that because of his hate to the Mishimas as a whole, he wants to get rid of them in his own way. So in my opinion, Lee has definitely an excellent story and franchise relevance to Tekken 7. And since this is the Mishima's conclusion, and he definitely don't want to miss that party of the Mishimas and have a sweet, revengeful retribution against Heihachi, or in this case, the Mishimas. So as I'm seeing the story point of Lee Chaolan being in Tekken 7, he is not purely driven and obsessed with vengeance. It's one of his goals, and he likes to do it on his own way. Mostly not directly face to face, but behind the scenes. And I can imagine him enjoying that while he sits in his mansion back in the Bahamas, you know?
Excellent.
And also, just the fact that in the scenario campaign mode of Tekken 6, he also allied with Elisa and Lars. And at the end of the story, Lee promised Lars to help him with the repairs of Elisa's programming.
Excellent. 君には大きな借りがあるからな。少し時間をもらうことになる。とにかくシステムが複雑すぎる。さすがはボスコノビッチ博士。実にエクセレントだ。よろしく頼む。任せておいてくれ。
And since we can see the fully new Elisa in Tekken 7, it can be safely assumed, that Lee's repair was a success. And also, if you notice it, Elisa's and Lars's design are kind of similar. So in my opinion, Lee is also kind of involved in, Lars's story into helping him, fighting against the Mishimas. Because that is typical of Lee to do, kind of working behind the scenes, helping the people to eventually achieve his goals, or in this case, get his fated retribution. You know what I mean?
Excellent!
And also, as part of franchise relevance, Lee has been in all Tekken games except for Tekken 3. So that alone also can say how much important Lee Chaolan is as a character to be in Tekken 7. Since this is the last game of the Mishimas, Lee doesn't want to miss this party, how it all gonna go down. He definitely needs to be there. Because it would be a shame, right? He's been in all of the games except for Tekken 3. And suddenly not in this game doesn't make any sense if that would happen. And if we look at the popularity, Lee Chaolan is, very popular to many players, and his fight style is very unique. So guys, right now, Lee is definitely fitting to all of the 4 criteria that I mentioned. The story, the theme, the franchise's relevance, popularity, the usage of him, his design, and his originality. With all that said, he is just simply a beloved character to leave out for Tekken 7, right? And whatever his involvement and true story will be to Tekken 7, we'll just have to wait and see. And I surely can't imagine him not being in the game. But I think that Harada and the team have a very good plan for him. I'm pretty sure of that. So with this all being said, I personally say and believe that Lee Chaolan is definitely going to be in Tekken 7. 100%. Period. No questions asked.
Excellent!
Hey, but remember, this is just my opinion and what I believe based on all these mentioned topics and explanations that I've just given, alright? But just like I said from the beginning, that doesn't guarantee that whatever I'll say will come true. Because remember, it's only official if Harada confirms it. So, with that said, we are coming to criteria number 5, which are the facts. And boy, do we have some facts about Lee Chaolan, because there are some things that you definitely should know.
Oh, excellent!
Because basically, a couple of months ago, he is kind of confirmed for Tekken 7. Why do I say kind of? Because it's for your own judgment. You have to see whether it's a confirmation for you or not. So let me explain. Surprisingly enough, there has been a news that has passed on everyone's radar. It's coming from an interview that's from an article in a German games magazine called Maniac Games. And this is from a couple of months ago, back in February 2016. They have conducted an interview with Michael Murray about Tekken 7 Fated Retribution, and in that interview there was a very interesting particular question asked to him. And as it happens, it's a good thing that I can also understand and read German as well, but I'm not German, believe me that. So I'm gonna read the text out for you guys just as it's said, and I think I'll subtitle it so you guys can see and understand what the deal is, alright?
Excellent!
And the question is, da viele Fans doch ihre Lieblinge in Tekken 7 vermissen, könnt ihr etwas über die Entscheidung sagen, welche Figur in eine neue Episode kommt und wer auf der Ersatzbank bleiben muss. Die größten Mengen an Figuren in einem Tekken-Spiel hatten wir in Tekken Tag Tournament 2. Mit Tekken 7 setzen wir zum ersten Mal auf die Unreal Engine 4. Das bedeutet, dass wir die Figuren komplett neu erschaffen müssen. Daher war es immer eine schwierige Entscheidung, wer nun ins Spiel kommt und wer nicht. Mittlerweile haben wir da aber bessere Möglichkeiten, die Wünsche der Spieler nachzuvollziehen. Wir ziehen bei Spielen auf Heimkonsolen ebenso wie bei Arcade-Spielen, welche Figuren am meisten gespielt werden. Das ist sehr wertvolles Wissen. Natürlich spielt auch die Kampfstil eine wichtige Rolle. Es ist erst einmal unsinnig, 3 Figuren zu haben, die alle auf den gleichen Stil setzen. Da reicht auch eine. Es ist wichtig, viele verschiedene Stile zu bieten. Es ist eben eine Frage der Ressourcen. Lee Chaolan ist bei Spielern eine sehr beliebte Figur, die noch nicht im Spiel ist. Nina Williams ebenso. aber Lee wird auf jeden Fall eine wichtige Rolle in der Geschichte spielen. Daher sage ich mal, wer weiß, was noch kommen mag. Alright, did you get it with the subtitles? Because Michael Murray says Tekken Tag 2 had a lot of characters, so it's not going to be the same for Tekken 7. And when we choose the roster, he said, there is a particular reason and a choice that kind of differs for the console version and for the arcade version, because the character usage for the arcade version has its own audience that also is different from the console version. The characters that you're seeing right now for the arcade version have a significance to the arcade version. And lastly, Michael Murray says, which is the most important piece of part of this interview, he gives an example. Lee Chaolan is, for example, a very beloved character that is not yet in the game, just like Nina Williams. But Lee will definitely have a good part in the story. So with that said, who knows what will come next? And when I read that couple of months ago, to me it's the same as Michael Murray is saying, like, he's obviously important to the story, so we will do something great with him. That's basically what he says. Michael Murray is already answering the question with Lee's point of view, and with that he also mentions Nina Williams. And guess what? She's already been revealed, and this was even a couple of weeks before her actual reveal. You have to remember that.
Excellent.
But it's not only that, because Lee is also one of Michael's favorite characters of the series. And he has said that several times, but also most notably in the recent Final Round 19 commentaries. He explained how he was involved and in charge of the creation of the Tekken Lab from Tekken Tag 2, which is basically Lee's mini-story from Tekken Tag 2.
And I want to know your opinion,
Okay.
not speaking as part of the Tekken team.
Not officially, but
as
my
a fan of
personal
Tekken,
opinion.
which character, whether it's a guest character or just a returning character, would you like to see in Tekken 7? Just as a fan.
Definitely Lee.
Lee?
Yeah.
Excellent.
Because, well, the movie, you know, he played a role
Like
in,
a troll character.
For me, just me personally, he has a special spot because for Tag 2, I was in charge of designing Fight Lab, right?
Ah, okay. And he was the Violent
He was
Systems
central
guy,
to,
yeah.
to the story.
Oh, excellent.
So it's safe to assume that he has a personal attachment to the character himself. And in my opinion, you wouldn't be talking about a character that wasn't in the game or potentially could be in the game. Even if you say yourself that it doesn't need to mean that he's confirmed, you know? You wouldn't be calm like that.
Excellent!
素晴らしい結果ですね。
当然さ、私の計画は常にパーフェクトだよ。
What else can I say, man? Then it's just a matter of time before Bandai Namco or Harada drops the reveal trailer of Lee Chaolan, or just, you know, releases the awesome upcoming trailer that is going to be really awesome to see that new intro, CG intro with Akuma in it. It's going to be really good. It's just a matter of time, guys. Alright guys, are you happy with this? Let me know in the comments, what did you think all of this? Were my criterias good or not? Do you agree with me, yes or no? Let me know in the comments below, right? And as always guys, thanks for watching, keep on watching, and stay tuned for more awesome Tekken 7 videos, man. Alright guys, so I'm YellowMotion, and I see you guys next time. Peace!